Wait. Weren't we supposed to see new listings and inventory flood the market by now? Weren't we supposed to see a bunch of distressed sellers, a bunch of Airbnb owners that basically have to be forced to sell their investment properties? Weren't we supposed to see prices fall by now across the US? Well, folks, Redfin data just dropped that is showing us a big warning sign in the housing market. And the warning sign is that new listings of homes for sale are actually down year over year for the first time in 6 months. So that means we have fewer people right now putting their home on the market right now versus this time last year. And that clearly signals that sellers overall are not in massive distress. But I'm really curious to hear what you have to say on today's Housing Nerd Redfin Live update. Good afternoon. My name is Jason Ferrier. I am the Housing Nerd. And for the last 7.5, 8 years, I've been a realtor and investor here in Central Ohio. And I'm your no BS guide to this crazy housing market. So that's what we're looking at today, Redfin's latest data. And folks, not only are new listings dropping, but pending sales are also slowing. They're down 3.2% year over year. So you've got fewer people listing their homes. We have fewer people buying homes, but we have mortgage purchase applications actually up for like the 9th week in a row. And active inventory is stalling. And again, if we were seeing a bunch of distressed sellers out there, new listings is where we're going to see that first. And we're not seeing it. We're just not seeing it. So that's what we're going to dive in today. Thanks for joining me today, obviously. And I'm going to break down the national update first. Then we're going to look at the metros that you want me to analyze on today's Housing Nerd video. So thanks for, again, I've said that 3 times now. Thanks for joining me. But good afternoon and happy 4th of July. Right. Right. I knew this was coming. Like if you watch the previous Redfin updates I've had, like you can see it in the numbers. Like new listings just aren't surging anymore. I mean, they're kind of like following seasonality. And that is that's concerning if you're a buyer. If you're somebody out there who wants to buy a home and you're hoping for inventory to flood the market. Now, this is national number I'm talking about right now. Other markets, specific markets, you'll see new listings are actually up, but nationally they're down, you know, when you aggregate the number. So anyway, the name of this Redfin article we're going to review is new listings, pending sales fall as home prices hit another all-time high. Can you believe it? Yeah, hit an all-time high. Just unbelievable. New listings fell 1% year over year during the 4 weeks ending June 29th. The first decline in nearly 6 months, with would-be sellers taking notice of slow demand. But it's worth noting that the weekly average mortgage rate fell to 6.67, its lowest level since early April. And they don't have an article, thank goodness, so we can just dive right into the data. But if we look at the daily average 30-year fixed mortgage rate, 6.75, let's check it right now. I know that the 10-year was down earlier today. I'm sorry, it was up earlier today, my bad. And so it looks like Mortgage News Daily has us at 6.75, but they've kind of floated down over the last, you know, you look at this chart, you can see they've floated like here, January 13, 2025, they floated down from 7.16 all the way down to where they are now, basically 6.75. So mortgage rates have definitely dropped. Yeah, it'll be an interesting summer and fall, to say the least, with interest rates, the way everything's headed. But I'm curious to hear what you have to say about it, obviously. All right, let's jump back into this data. So daily average 30-year fixed mortgage rate, 6.75%. That's near the lowest level since April, down from 7.07% last year. So what you're going to see is mortgage rates are lower. mortgage purchase applications are higher year over year, up 16%. We'll get to that in a minute. But pending sales are lower. So the actual number of houses going into contract is actually lower than it was last year. Mortgage purchase applications right here, essentially flat from a week earlier, but it's up 16% year over year. So, you put that together and you've got a bunch of people on the sideline, it looks like. I mean, these aren't refi applications, these are purchase applications. So you must have a ton of people out there that are on the sidelines waiting to purchase property for the right house, for the right price, for the right rate. And I hate to say it, but consumers buy on rate and buy on price. I'm sorry, buy on rate and payment. Probably fundamentally they should buy on price, but they buy on payment. I hate to say that, but they do. That's the fact. So, if you're one of those folks that are waiting for prices to come down, there are a lot of other people out there waiting for rates to come down. And when they do, and the payment drops, that's when I think the demand is going to spike. Maybe not really spike, but we should see a noticeable uptick if rates drop a ton, or maybe even like a quarter point, half a point. If they get low sixes, I think we'll see some demand come back. If they get under 6, there's a 5 on it, look out. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but you never know. Got to be prepared, right? Touring activity up 32% from the start of the year. Last year, it was up 21% at this time. So there's more people seeing homes, more people applying for mortgages, but fewer people putting their homes on the market. I'll say that again and again today on this video, but it's just is what it is. A lot of sellers don't need to sell. They just don't need to. So they're like, you know what? I'll try again next year, or I don't know, when rates come down, maybe I'll go buy that nicer house. So then I'll put mine on the market. But right now I don't need to sell, so I won't. Google searches for homes for sale, highest level in a year as of July 2nd, but essentially flat from last year. All right, here are the 4 weeks ending June 29th U.S. highlights. And they take the top 400 metros here. You know how they do that, right? So you get the 4 weeks ending June 29th. Median sale price, $400,125, up 1.4% year over year. This hasn't fallen year over year yet. That's an all-time high. It is. It is what it is, right? Median asking price, $415, up 3.9%. Median monthly mortgage payment, $2,742, up 1.6% year over year. That's the lowest level in 4 months. Crazy, right? The mortgage payments right now are at the lowest level in 4 months. Why is that? Well, is the median price higher? Yes. Are interest rates lower? Yes. What does that mean? It means the payment's lower, and not by much though, right? I mean, you're talking like a couple $100, $100, something like that. Pending sales. Look at this. 86,000 pending sales, down 3.2% year over year. Biggest decline in nearly 4 months. And the fact is, you got people applying for mortgages. Nobody's pulling the trigger yet. My guess is there's a lot of houses out there that people don't want. Like I saw one today with a client that will have a really tough time selling right now. So that's active inventory that's not selling. I mean, it's just not. So it's inventory, but it's kind of like worthless inventory. At least that's what I'm seeing locally. New listings. Look at this. 99,921, down 0.7%. First decline in nearly 6 months. I was shocked. Like when you look at the chart in a minute, you'll be like, what? I mean, it's been trending lower. I figured we were going to hit this mark eventually. I'm surprised it happened so quickly, but it's crazy. And by the way, new listings of homes for sale leading up to the GFC were like over 200,000 a week. So when you've got 99,000, and if you're well over 200,000 leading up to the GFC as far as new listings go, then we're like light years, eons, not even in the same realm of the universe as the level of listings that were hitting the market before the GFC. Is what it is. Active listings, 1,184 active listings, up 14% year over year, smallest increase in over a year. This isn't really improving either. It can't, with new listings not improving. Months of supply 4.1. This is up year over year, and I'm convinced it's because there's a lot of homes sitting on the market. There's not a lot of people buying those homes. And so because of it, months of supply is going up. But it doesn't mean the total number of new listings or the active listings are going up. It's just that the ones that are on the market, people are like, no thanks. Share of homes off the market, 36% off the market in 2 weeks or less. That's 36%, down from 40%. Median days on market, 37, up 5 days. That's it. Only up 5 days year over year now. That gap is closing. Share of homes sold above list price, 28.4, down from 32%. That gap is starting to shrink too. So we still have 28.4% of homes sold above the final list price, not the original list price, final list price. Average sale to list price ratio, 99.1, down from 99.6. So overall, people are getting about a 1% discount approximately on average. Metro level highlights, where are the biggest or the losers, where are the winners in the housing market as far as all the leading indicators we just looked at. Median sale price, where is it rising the most? Detroit, Newark, New Jersey, Cleveland, Ohio, Nassau County, New York, and New York City, all up. I mean, Detroit's up 10%. Cleveland's up 7.3. House prices in Ohio, folks, are like, and by the way, if you want to know about the Ohio housing market, after this live, I'm going to do a live for the Ohio housing market on my other channel, the Ohio Housing Nerd. And I'm very inventive, right? It took me a long time to come up with that. And home prices in Ohio, in Cleveland, Cincinnati, Columbus, Toledo, Akron, Dayton, last time I checked, we're all at record high home prices. Record highs. Like big record highs, not just a little bit. And the home prices in a lot of areas are just unhinged still. Oakland, San Diego, West Palm Beach, Atlanta, Tampa, all were down the biggest in price decline year over year. Prices declined in 11 of the top 50 metros, meaning 39 metros of the top 50 have year over year price increases. Did anybody have that on their bingo card this year? I don't think so. I mean, that's a big that's crazy. 39 of the top 50 metros, year over year price increase. Pending sales, where are they going up the most? Virginia Beach, Dallas, Columbus, Ohio, Pittsburgh, Warren, Michigan. Yeah, we're busier than we were last year here in Columbus or in the central Ohio area. I don't live in Columbus, but that's the big city near me. San Jose, Las Vegas, Miami, Orlando, Tampa, all had drops in pending sales. And look at this, declined in all but 10 metros. So pending sales in 40 of the top 50 metros, they're down year over year. Again, a lot of purchase applications. Prices are high still in many areas. And new listings are dropping in many areas. It's crazy. I wish they told us how many of the top 50 were dropping in new listings, but they don't. Warren, Michigan, Cleveland, Montgomery County, PA, Milwaukee, Boston all had the biggest increase in new listings. Look where new listings fell year over year. I wish more people talked about this because it gives you the full picture. Like, I'm not trying to sugarcoat things for y'all. I'm just trying to tell you what I'm seeing. Like, I don't care if you buy a home or not. Doesn't bother me if you buy a home. It's not going to affect me. Like, whatever you want to do. I'm just here to give you the honest info. And the fact is, Tampa, Florida, Orlando, Florida, Anaheim, San Diego, and Riverside. These are all areas where there was a lot of distress during the GFC. A lot of distress, especially in Riverside. Well, they all had distress. But now you're seeing fewer new listings. So the question is, if there were a ton of Airbnb sellers, a ton of people in Tampa Bay or any of these cities that needed to sell, not want to sell, but had to sell, new listings would be higher. Am I wrong? But it seems like they would be higher, logically speaking. And don't give me that, oh, they're hidden shadow listings. If you need to sell your property, like you're pulling a fire alarm, like a lot of people tell you is going on out there in the market. Well, you're not just going to list it as a shadow listing. You're going to list it on the market. You're going to like drop flyers from an airplane. You're going to, have a guy in an airplane with smoke behind it, writing for sale, 195 Main Street. Come get it. Airbnb distress. Now, I am seeing a few motivated sellers out there. I am more than I have, in the last couple of years, but it's not like it's a mountain of them. Again, like if these markets were like, I don't know, like if new listings were all down in the Northeast as the top markets down with new listings, I would think that's kind of like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But for Tampa, Orlando, Anaheim, San Jose, and Riverside to all be down in double digits in new listings tells me that people are not in that much distress in those cities. You get the point. But I think it's really important to review it. Median sale price. Check this out. Look at this. Look at this median sale price. 1.4% up year over year. Has not crashed. Has not. Has not. It's hot out here, folks. Bear with me on the heat. Median asking price. That's starting to head down, but it always does this time of year, right? I don't know that is a big warning sign at all, when it comes down to it. Pending sales, though, are not great. I mean, look at pending sales down, 4-year low right now. They're not good at all. New listings, here it is right here. You can see it. I mean, look at new listings back in 2022. We had nearly 125,000 new listings in that one week. It's crazy. Now we've got less than 100,000. That's a big difference. I mean, you're think about that. Just from, we're not even talking about GFC. We're not even talking about normal levels. This is just going back a few years to 2022. We had 25,000 more properties on the market or hitting the market as new listings. It's crazy. But when you look at this, this part here will confuse people because they look at it and go, active listings are 4-year high. They are starting to head down, if you notice that. And last year they were heading up at this time. They continued to go up. Now they're starting to come down. It's because there's a bunch of inventory on the market nobody wants. Overpriced, expensive, just stuff that people are like, nah, it's not going to work. But good homes in good areas that are in great condition or decent condition and priced in a normal way are still moving. Oftentimes with multiple offers, at least here in Ohio, they are. But by no means am I saying like, hey, this is like COVID again, where prices are just going to go parabolic, although they haven't come down much nationally. Well, they haven't, honestly, they're still setting record highs. So it's insane. 4 months of supply on the market. That's what I'm saying. Just houses people don't want. 36% of pending sales in our contract within 2 weeks. We know that. Homes sold in a median of 37 days. That's a 4-year high too. But it's not up where it was earlier this year, like at 50 days, 60 days. It's kind of falling seasonality. 28% of homes sold above final list price. That's a 4-year low, which is still crazy, right? I mean, back in 2022, it was over 50% of homes were selling above list price. Wow. Okay. Now let's go to the data, but I'll take a few comments and then we're going to jump into this data on some metros that y'all want to see. Yes, prices in Ohio are outrageous. They are. It continues to amaze me. TH2. It continues to amaze me. Excuse me, guys. I got to let the dog out. I got 2 dogs. One is a little guy, and he's always scratching at the door. Watch. In a minute, he's going to scratch and want to go outside, out of the porch. And then I got to let him back in. But yeah, prices in Ohio are nuts. What were the top negatives with the house you looked at with your client? Any positives? without going into too much detail on it, just for confidentiality reasons, it was it needed work, and the price is too high. Basically, that's really what it was. And because of some different factors, the seller's not willing or not able to reduce their price. So right now, just not a great, great location, some decent proper area with it, right? Decent sized house, walkout basement, but yeah, it's just not going to work. How's Palm Springs? Okay, I'll look at Palm Springs. Yeah, I'm just waiting for prices here in Ohio to crash so I can buy some property cheap, well, cheaper than what it is now. Yeah, I mean, I get it, hustler. I get it. It's rough out there though. Like, and I'm not seeing any indication right now that prices want to come down here in Ohio. I'm just not. I wish it was different, but it's it's just brutal. Especially and unless you're shopping. No, there's the caveat. Unless you're shopping in that really high price range. Like if you want a home at like I'll give you an example. Like if you want a home at like 600 grand in a market where the median price is more like 3 or 400,000, then there probably are some opportunities, especially something that is kind of beat up a little bit. And there may be even some opportunities in the affordable range if you're willing to take on a big project. But if it's decent at all, it's and it's not in a floodplain, then yeah, they're still moving it at high prices, unfortunately. Interest rates are too high, keeping people in the current place. That's true. Be interesting to see if they drop. I mean, the administration's doing everything they're going to do. They're going to do anything they can do in the next few months to get interest rates lower on mortgages. Anything. Oh, waiting in Ohio too, Diane. Thanks for checking in, Ohio. Remember, you can join me on the Ohio Housing Nerd here after this one. Sellers are going to learn the hard way. Being stubborn now and not lowering. They should proceed at their own risk. Hold tight, buyers. Yeah, I mean, the right. I mean, the thing that sells a house is price. That's what sells a home at the end of the day. So if you're like, I'm not lowering my price, you're not going to sell the home. But also realize as a buyer, those people don't need to sell. So it's like if they don't need to sell, then they're not going to lower their price. Why would they? Right. The burbs of Cleveland are expensive. Price percent wise increases in the city are higher as the starting prices are lower. Everyone looking at price per square foot, but the hoods aren't the safest. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I mean the location matters, right? Yeah, I've heard Cleveland, like suburbs, are super expensive. I am going to make a trip around Ohio into some different markets and do like some boots on the ground type stuff. And I'm definitely coming up to Cleveland and taking a look at the, yeah, kind of all the different markets there. Thanks, Scott. Gregory, what's happening? Interest rates aren't the problem. Home prices are the problem. These are historically average interest rates. I agree with you. In the perfect world, I'll put this back up. In the perfect world, Gregory, I think interest rates should, like, if they left them alone right now and just didn't meddle with them, like let the market just let the interest rates stabilize, chill out, and let home sales be low for a while. Fine, right? But I'm not saying they need to be lower. I'm saying buyers buy on payment. That's why buy now, pay here is so, or buy now, pay later is so prevalent, right? Because people buy on payment. It just is what it is. So people will, if interest rates drop too much, people will run out and buy a home without any discount on the home because the payment's lower. That's why the rate buy downs work for new builders because they know that buyers buy on payment. I'm not saying that's right, but that's just how it is, unfortunately. Okay. Let's go to some data and look at this. So let me go to, I'm going to start in Columbus. Actually, you know what? I'm going to start in Palm Springs because somebody asked for Palm Springs. Oh, not in here, huh? Let me see. What county is that? Oh, it's in Riverside. Okay, let me go to Riverside County. Riverside County's big. So I'm in the, sometimes people ask this question. I'm in the data center of Redfin. That's where I am right now. And you can look at it by county or you can look at it by metro. Sometimes they don't have smaller metros on there and they only have counties. So that's what I'm looking at. All right. This is for Riverside County, which covers Palm Springs. I hope this helps. Who requested that? A Pinson 29. Thanks for joining us. All right. New listings. Look at this. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, look at the new listings in Riverside County. During the GFC, leading up to the GFC, it was like it looked like a Sim City map when you look at the new homes there. There were just sprawling new home developments, sprawling homes for sale. But new listings in Riverside County, I mean, they were at 810 at one point, and then they dropped and dropped and dropped, and now down 16% year over year. Like they're at a 4-year low. New listings in Riverside County, 4-year low. Wow. That's surprising. I mean, that's just shocking. It is to me, to a data nerd, housing nerd. It's shocking. And at the same time, just like nationally, look at pending sales down 8.7%. Nobody buying, nobody selling in Riverside. They're like, nah, I'm sitting this one out. It's all good. We're going to wait. What are they waiting for? I don't know. Like, means, you know, the buyers are waiting for prices to to go down. Sellers are waiting for, I guess, more demand to come back. Right? Active listings in Riverside County. Look at this. What's up and down, up 21% year over year, but now headed down. Median sale price. Where's that? Yeah, look at median sale price. Hasn't crashed. It's gone sideways all year. Now it's 617, up like less than 1% year over year. It's not a 4-year high. It's not an all-time high. It's not a 4-year high. Looks like the high was 622,000 last year. But you almost got there a couple times, and you're starting to head up again. So, yeah, I don't know what to tell. I don't know what to tell folks. They're like, it's you're in Palm Springs buying a property. It looks like there are more homes on the market, but the new listings are way down. Tell me if that's what you're seeing. Like, fewer homes are actually hitting the market. It's crazy. I mean, this is, well, one thing's for sure. This completely bucks seasonality. Like, look at this. Every other year, new listings started to go down, but they didn't start to go down till like late summer. But now new listings started to drop like in April there. You know, they just kept going down and down and down. Unbelievable. I hope that helps. Tell me if that's what you're seeing in the market. All right, let's look at Cleveland while we're doing it. If you got a metro you want me to look at, drop it in the comments and I will look at it. Let's do let's do Cleveland. Cleveland, Ohio. New listings in Cleveland up 7.4%. That's good. You need more new listings. A lot more. Don't stop there, Cleveland. Need a lot more. Active listings. Yeah, this is it was going up quite it was going up in a upward trajectory, straight up at one point, like through here. Now it's not. So you've got 10% more homes on the market total. That's not great. That's not that much. Definitely need more than that. What about pending sales? What are those doing? Keep checking my mic. It's easy to mute it. These are pending sales. What are those doing? Down 0.7%. So in Cleveland, you have more new listings, lower pending sales. Hopefully that helps active inventory continuing on this summer. Median sale price. Look at this. That's what I'm saying. Look at in Cleveland, Ohio, record high by far. I mean, it's not even close, right? $262,000, up 7% year over year. That's definitely not sustainable, you don't think, right? It can't be sustainable. And with property taxes in Ohio the way they are, forget it. Wow. Somebody on my channel commented that there were 17,000 foreclosure listings in Cleveland. I asked them where they got that data because I want to look at it, but they did not reply. So I don't know. I haven't heard of 17,000 foreclosures. Must be shadow inventory, right? Off market, whatever you want to call it. Let's do Cincinnati. What do we got? New listing, Cincinnati, Ohio. Up 4.3%. Good. We need more new listings, no doubt. Pending sales up 0.5%. So you got little more buyers out there in the market. You have more sellers. Good. Let's do active listings. Active inventory up 14% like it is nationally about there. And it continues to go up. That's good. Median sale price, $309,000, up 4% year over year. That's an all-time high. It was an all-time high last week at 309. Now it's at 309. Still an all-time high. At least it didn't go up. That's there's a feather in our cap. It didn't go up, week over week. Yeah. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, now let's do Columbus. Go back to new listings. Let me do Columbus. And I always do the Ohio cities because I live in Ohio, but then I'll do any other city you want me to. I don't care. The more obscure, the better. Look at new listings, up 1.9%. That's not that good. Again, just not a lot of people wanting to sell their home. Not a lot of distress. Active listings, up 21%. So we do have more active inventory. I mean, we have more, homes sitting there waiting to be purchased, or, they just rot. Pending sales, what are those? Up 2.4%. And that's a 3-year high right now, right? 2023, 2024. Yeah, 3-year high with pending sales. So we added 724, or I'm sorry, we 724 listings went into contract. New listings, 768. So that's what, 40 homes in Central Ohio were added to the market as inventory. Not that good. Just not enough. Median sale price. Look at this. $364. Up 3.7%. But it's not coming down, and it's an all-time high. Unbelievable. But if you want more Ohio data, join me after this for the Ohio Housing Nerd channel. A different channel, but I'll dive into a lot more areas of Ohio. So, yeah, if you want to know more about the Buckeye State, check that one out. Okay. Any other metros you want me to look at? What else we got? Usually y'all send me everywhere. Boulder, Colorado. Boulder, Colorado. Do I have Boulder? Yeah, great. New listings in Boulder, Colorado, down 0.9%. Fewer people listing homes versus last year there. It's crazy. It just would never think that. You would just never think it. I was convinced we'd have more new listings this year. Convinced. Pending sales, 109, up 7%. So more people buying in Boulder versus selling. Let that sink in. Wow. It's a crazy market. Okay, so active listings up 21% year over year, 1,800. It's a 4-year high by far. That's really nothing new. A lot of these markets are like that. They just have a lot of active inventory kind of sitting there, not really doing anything. Median sale price, what do we got here? 736, up 2%. Not a 4-year high. You know, a 4-year high for you would have been like here, 775. But it's trended up all year long. You know, if you look at that trend line, it's up, right? 736, up 2%. Okay. Geez. I would have thought in an area like Boulder, you would think that there would be some more distress, like from Airbnb and stuff, right? Doesn't look that way. And by the way, if you ever go to AirDNA and look at their inventory, that's just not Airbnb inventory. They have all listings on the site. Like they're just like a Zillow type thing. So if you see like 20,000 active listings on AirDNA, it doesn't mean they're all Airbnb like distressed sellers. It means that they're just home sellers. Just to throw that in there. Okay, let's look at Denver while we're in Colorado. Now we should see some pain here. You'd think, right? In Denver, got to see some pain. No, new listings down 3% in Denver. I mean, it was surging big time at the beginning of the year. You were up 23% in new listings in Denver, but then it kind of stalled out. And now it's dropping. And now you're down 3% in new listings in Denver. Down 3%, not up, down. Pending sales, down 6%. Nobody buying, nobody selling. Huh. 30% increase in active listings. So you have a lot more active homes for sale. But all of a sudden, sellers are like, not going to list anymore. We're done. Median sale price. Where's this? Uh-oh. Oh, no. Not an all-time high, but it's only up 1% year over year, $609,000. And it's been going up the last few weeks. Look at this. It started in like May. Then it's what? And through June, it kept going up, the sale price. Like you bottomed out this year at 594. Is that a deal compared to 609? Like, not really. I mean, what's the difference, right? Spending 594, 609 is the same. But it started, look where the pricing started, 567, higher than last year in Denver, and then continued to go up this year to 609. You could set an all-time price record there too. Man, this drawdown of new listings or the slowdown of new listings, it's not helping prices. Not at all. Not at all. But yeah, thanks for asking for Boulder. I think hyperinflation is inbound. Yeah, I mean, if they lower interest rates too much, it is. That's for sure. But that'll be somebody else's problem to deal with, right? That's kind of the way they look at it, I guess. Hey, Jason, I'm here in San Diego. What's up? I like San Diego. We live in a specific area of South San Diego called Chula Vista. Yeah, I know where that is. I'm wondering if you have any thoughts or could let me know about that area. So I can review San Diego for you. I'm happy to do that. Laura, thank you so much for taking the time to to join us. But the challenge is I don't have data down to like that specific metro. Let me look at I doubt we have Chula Vista on here. Yeah, I don't. That's just too local for me on Redfin. And I don't have access to the MLS there. So I would suggest we can review San Diego, but I would suggest getting with a realtor to actually get very specific info from them on that market. It doesn't mean you have to work with them to buy a property. It doesn't mean you have to pay them anything. It doesn't mean you have to, they may ask you to sign a contract, a buyer contract, but negotiate it and tell them, hey, I just want data right now. You should be able to find, especially that we've been so low in transactions in real estate, should be able to find a realtor easily, maybe a new realtor who just wants to practice, who can get you that data. But all the stuff we're reviewing right now, ask them for that, but for your specific area in Chula Vista. That's my point. Okay, new listing San Diego. What do we got? Down 12%. Huh. Wow. But San Diego covers Chula Vista. So, well, in this data, it does. But it's still maybe a little broad for you. Pending sales down 9.8%. Nobody buying, nobody selling there. Like people, just like Boulder and Denver, I think, right? Let's look at active listings. Active listings up 26%, 27%, but it's starting to head down now. And it does, like this time of year, you can kind of see, well, it didn't last year. It kept going up. But it's starting to curve down, probably because new listings are lower now. Goodness gracious. What about median sale price? Yeah, look at this. It's gone sideways this year, but it is down 3%, $914,000. But it's gone. I mean, you started the year at 879 and now at 914. That's why you really have to dial in this info if you want to understand what's happening in your local market. Because you'll hear people that say San Diego prices are crashing. I'm sure you hear that. But like they're sideways, and they started lower than they are now this year. They are down year over year, but look, last year, you had this big jump last year up to 947. So obviously they're going to be down right now, but it's not like they're headed downwards. They're just sideways. But it looks like a tough market still, I have to think. But yeah, that's what I would do. Get with a realtor to understand Chula Vista. Hope that helps. I wish I had access to the MLS all over the place, but I don't, and it would cost, what, $50,000 a year or something. Do some of the suburbs around Columbus. I'll do that. I can show by county. I can do that. I'll do that on the Ohio Housing Nerd channel on the live I do after this, just for Ohio. Okay, so join us on that one. Hint: the Fed just bailed out the repo market. Just kick the can down the road. It will slow the housing market correction. Yes, DZ. I did see that. I watched a video from Heresy Financial, I think. He does some pretty good stuff. And yeah, look, there's no way the guys in charge of the government in Washington are going to let things crash with the housing market. I'm not saying it's the good move, but they're not just going to go, nah, we'll just let things fall. They're going to inject more liquidity into the system. They're going to make borrowing easier. They're going to manipulate the 10-year treasury, whatever they got to do to get that mortgage rate down so people buy. I've never heard them talk about more affordable homes. I've never heard Bill Pulte talk about that. He just tweets that they need to fire Jerome Powell. That's all he tweets about. He doesn't tweet about Americans are getting crushed by property taxes and high home values. We need to reset home values. He doesn't talk about that. And he's in charge of like affordable housing. Yikes. Oh, what's this? Check it out. I'm babbling away and I didn't see this. What's up, Robert? Man, thank you. Thanks a lot. That's really cool of you. Seriously, dude. Like, that's awesome. The county fair is in town, or the local fair for the 4th of July. And now I'm going to buy a funnel cake, I think, from your $5. So thank you so much, Robert. Seriously. All right, let's do Suffolk County. People are like, shut up, Jay. Just do those counties and tell us what you think. Suffolk County, Massachusetts. What do we got? New listings. Up 12.9% in new listings. That's good. That's really good. I mean, you've got more new listings. It looks like it's following seasonality, like the trend is, like how it's up and down, up and down. But you definitely have more new listings. Not a ton more, though. Like, I mean, this is 218. Last year, you were 193. So that's only like 30 units, right? Approximately. Or 20, what, 25. But let's look at pending sales and see. Then I can check Boston too when we're done with this one. Pending sales up 10, call it 11%. So people are buying, people are buying homes there in Boston, in Suffolk County. I'm surprised there's not more pending sales there. That must be a small county. But it's got Boston in it. So maybe I'll look at Boston after this as a different look. Pending sales. Yeah, up 11%. Interesting. I always say that. I don't know what else to say. Interesting. Look at active listings. 22%, 23% more. So you've got more new listings, more active listings. We do have people buying homes, right? Pending sales were up, and then new listings are up as well. So more people buying, more people selling, more houses on the market. That's all good, I would think, for price discovery and for people to find a property somewhat. What's median sale price now? Hey, look at median sale price in Suffolk County. Down, what's that? Down 4%, right? 3 yeah, rounding up 4% or rounding down. So home prices are down actually 4%, and they're down since the beginning of the year in Suffolk County. 836,000 they started at. Now, $787,000. So they're down. And that's not the trend. I mean, look at the trend normally. You can kind of see it here, like in 2022, 2023, prices just kept going up until like the end of the year. But this year, prices started here and are going down. Huh. Let's look at Boston real quick and see what we got. So look at this difference between when I look at a county versus a metro. Look at new listings in Boston. Where are they? Up 5%. So they were up with Suffolk County. They're also up with Boston. Pending sales down 0.3% versus up with Suffolk County. And then let's look at active listings. You still, okay, so active listings up 18%. It's a 4-year high, just like with Suffolk County. And now median sale price, what's that? Yeah, look at median sale price, $794 for Boston, up 3%. So prices were down 3% for Suffolk County. But in Boston, they're actually up. That's an all-time high for Boston, for the Metro Boston. Wow. But that's the difference. So it looks like It probably depends exactly where you are in the area. If you're in the Boston metro, I suppose. How many new listings is that? Yeah, see, look at the new listings. 1,251 new listings for Boston or for Boston. But when I looked at Suffolk County, there weren't that many, right? Yeah, look at pending sales, 1,000. That seems more accurate for a city like Boston. But it looks like in Suffolk County, prices are down year over year. But if you just look at the Boston metro, prices are actually up. I hope that helped. Robert, I hope that helped. Oh, got another one. Laura, thank you. Wow. That was really cool of you. Really cool of you. Then you wanted to talk about San Diego, which you already did. Oh, hey, look at this. Hey, Jason, I'm in San Diego, paid $450 in '09, but my neighbor just sold for 1.25. So you can afford to give the $9.99 away. Right, Laura? You can afford to just give me the $10. No, I'm just kidding with you. But seriously, that's very nice of you. Thank you. I appreciate it all. Yeah, it helps me, helps the channel. Obviously, it gives me more motivation to keep doing this. I like doing it even when I wasn't getting paid for it, but that helps to get paid for it. Yeah, that is startling. Like you must have picked that thing off at 450 right like when prices were basically down in the trenches, right? Maybe you lost a little bit between '09 and 11 or 12. Wow. So, question, do you have any plan to sell? Are you like, "Yeah, I wanna sell," or are you like, "No, we're just gonna sit tight?" Um, yeah, I'm just curious to know. I mean, shoot, Laura, you could sell your house and move to Ohio and buy 2 houses, sometimes 3. If you wanna do that, give me a call. But thank you. Seriously, Laura, awesome of you. All right, let me go back to the top. Super Tech Boy, what's up? You did miss Cincinnati, but again, I'm going to do the Ohio Housing Nerd channel after this with a live. So you can hit me on there or go back and watch the replay. Do you have to be an agent to get that info? You mean MLS info? Is that what you're asking? Yes, you do. Well, you don't have to be an agent. You could be like part of the brokerage, but you either have to be a broker or an agent and a realtor, which is different than just an agent. Like a licensed real estate agent for a state like Ohio is one thing, but then you to become a realtor, you and get access to the MLS, you actually have to pay a fee and you know pay some more fees and some more fees. But yeah, that's kind of the. I mean, honestly, it's kind of the part that the NAR still has a stranglehold on a lot of the data. Oh, hey, what's up, Ryan? Hey, Ryan, man, I love your channel. Thank you. Seriously, thanks for the support. I mean, you're welcome. Well, you're welcome. I'm thanking you, Ryan, for all you do on YouTube and the housing market. And some of your videos are really awesome. Like you're renovating that older house. That was pretty cool. So, anyway, we have to do a video sometime. Yeah. Yeah. By the way, people, you guys should definitely check out Ryan's channel because he's been doing it longer than me and adds a lot of value. So, check out his channel. Let me go back to Vegas. You got Vegas on here. Las Vegas, please. Yeah, let's do Vegas. Vegas. Las Vegas. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We got some crashing data. Crashing data. Ah. Uh-oh. Hmm. Okay, good. Las Vegas time. Las Vegas, Nevada. New listings in Las Vegas. Look at that, down 5%. Oh, man. Wouldn't expect that. You just would not expect it. Look what happened in 2022 there. Up to the moon. I mean, at that time, you had 1,300 new listings hit the market in 1 week. And now 812. That's a big difference. 500 houses did not hit the market compared to 2022. And it's down compared to last year. Down 5%. I don't think anybody would have guessed that a few months ago. I mean, the housing market is just kind of boring, right? Right now, it's just kind of boring. It's like people are just stuck. They're not wanting to sell or buy. Yeah. Odd. Look at the pending sales. Down 16%. I mean, geez, Louise. Just nobody buying homes in Vegas compared to, I mean, it's been down all year, basically, right? Yeah, all year. And it's continuing to head lower. What about active inventory? That's got to be high, you would think, right? Active listings in Vegas. I mean, it's up 42%, which looks like a lot. And it is. I mean, 11,000 units on the market compared to 8,000. You got 3,000 more in Vegas than you did last year. What about 2022? You had 9,000. I mean, look at back in 2022 where it was going, though, as far as new listings or as far as active listings, 12,700. But now 11,439. You probably have more homes to choose from, but the new listings aren't helping you. Again, they could be expensive or overpriced, right? People that don't need to sell, they just want to sell. So they're listing their house, kind of testing the market, which is the worst way to list your house. Like, you want to sell and put it on at a price that makes sense. If you don't want to sell, don't list it. But you get people, I mean, you can't blame sellers. They're like, well, I know you want to blame sellers. I get that. But you don't, I wonder how much I can get for my house. I'm going to put it on at this price, even though I know it's crazy high. Nobody comes and knocks on the door. And so they're just like, I'll take it off the market. Okay. So you do have more active listings. Here's the big one, median sale price. Boy, that hasn't crashed this year there. You're up just under 1%, $452,000, started at 436. So you're up year to date. Wow. I'd love to do one of these videos with like a I'd love to do one of these videos with like a Melody Wright. Like, sit with her and actually go through these charts that people request and try to understand, kind of what she thinks of the data, what she sees going on. Because, I mean, so far what we've seen today is the prices are still really high. And a lot of areas, new listings are actually down. It's crazy. That's Vegas. Charleston, South Carolina. Or Savannah, Georgia, what you said, huh? Okay. Oh, man. Okay, Charleston. Charleston, South Carolina. That's a beautiful area. Great food. All right, new listings in Charleston, down 4%. Same story, different metro. Pending sales, probably down too, right? What's this? They're not. Oh, they're up. Pending sales up 0.4%. So they're not down, basically flat. So a few more people buying, less people listing homes, though, than last year. And now let's do active listings. Starting to head down, up 12.85. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of distress there. Otherwise, you'd see a lot more new listings, and you'd think active listings would be a lot higher too. Median sale price. Yeah, look at this. Not an all-time high, but it's a 4-year high. $467,000, up 2.3%. Look at this. This year, you had an all-time high. $475,000 back in May. You had an all-time high for home prices. It doesn't seem like there's any crash there at all. More properties on the market, but and a few more people buying, and high home prices, and low new listings. It's just not a healthy market. Not a lot of relief in sight. Okay. Go back to the chat. See what else we got. Ooh. Man, Robert, another one? We already did that though. Didn't we? Oh, I'm clicked on the wrong one. My fault. Oh, April Hall. I was like, we already did this, Robert. I got to refund your money. Well, thanks, April. Oh, you want to know Arizona? Yes. Okay. By the way, you don't have to give me money for me to look at a metro. I appreciate it. I mean, it means a lot. It does. It means a ton. But I'm going to look at Arizona for you. And thank you for the $5. Let's see. Where in Arizona? You got to give me an area. Give me like a city or a county. The Phoenix, what's that? Maricopa County, I think it is. Tell me where you want to look at. You live in Arizona, okay? Yeah, tell me where. Oh, hey, it's my pleasure. Yeah, tell me where. Oh, Maricopa County. Okay, got it. This will be interesting. That's a good one to look at. My one finger typing like an old man. But that's how I do it. New listings. Look at this. I'm going to look at Phoenix after this, just like we did with Suffolk County. What in the world? Down 12% with new listings. And it's been going down for several weeks. And it's like, I mean, look at the difference in new listings from June, right? Or from 2025 to 2022. You had 2,300 new listings in this time in 2022. Now you've got 1,200. That's a difference of like 1,100 new listings hitting the market. 1,100. I mean, I can't believe it. I can't believe there's not more distress there with new listings and inventory. I got to think pending sales are down there, right? Yeah, they are. They're down 2.7% year over year. Not surprising. What about active inventory? That's got to be high, right? Well, it's up 30%, but now it's starting to head down. It's not continuing to go up because new listings have been going down. I mean, so you can see this, right? It's pretty easy to see. Look at new listings. They started traveling down in April of all times. And then active listings kind of peaked in May and then started heading down because new listings completely fell off the map. Completely fell off the map. So it's like everybody ran to list their home earlier in the year, probably last year too, right? No, not last year. But at the beginning of the year, everybody lists their homes early in the year there, it looks like, every year. But in 2022, the new listings continued to go up all the way to like the end of June. This year, they started to fall off in April. And now they crossed 2024, and they're getting ready to cross 2023. I mean, they're tied with 2023 right now. Is that right? Yeah. I mean, they're close to being tied. with 2023. They're almost at a 4-year low for new listings. Crazy. So maybe it's not that boring. Phoenix. Oops. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to look at median sale price. Did I look at median sale price? No. Median sale price down 1%. $482,000. Started at 486. So you're down $4,000 year to date. So prices are lower. Okay. Well, we found an area where prices are lower. The all-time high was back in 2022 at 509. Crazy. Like, think about the market, like Maricopa County, Arizona, which is basically Phoenix. You've got all-time record high home price, $509,000 back in June of 2022. And we went all the way through 2023, all the way through 2024 without setting a new home price. But here in Ohio, we're still setting records on home prices. That big spike in inventory is what did it, right? In 2022, you could see it spiked like the other years, but then just continued on going up and up and up. And that new inventory crushed prices. That's what you need if you want lower prices. You just got to have a lot more, a huge upward trajectory, a surge, I guess, in new listings and active inventory. Let's do, I'm going to do the Metro though. Phoenix. Because you give me a super chat, I'll do the Metro too. But it's also kind of interesting to kind of look at the differences. So down 2% in new listings. We were down in the county and in Metro and in Phoenix Metro, down with new listings, pending sales, down as well. Understood. Active listings, what are those doing? Up 28%. Could be very similar. Yeah, very similar. $460,000, down 1%. So you are down year over year in home prices. You're down from the beginning of the year. Started at 461 in the Metro. Now you're at 460. I wouldn't think it's crashing. It doesn't seem like the prices are crashing, but you do have more homes for sale. That's a plus. Unfortunately, new listings are low. And you'd think if there was Airbnb distress, it would be, what are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? Flexing? Yeah, get off camera, bro. That's my kid being a goofball. But you'd think if there was Airbnb distress, you'd see it in Arizona, right? Crazy. All right. Thanks for suggesting that. That was a great one. Oh, man. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Robert. Seriously, dude. That was very nice of you. Very nice. Now I can get 2 funnel cakes. Maybe a lemon shake-up, right? Got to get one of those at the fair. Phoenix is seasonal. Nobody wants to list when it's 120 degrees outside. Right. Good point. But it's lower than last year. Last year was hot. The year before that was hot. Right? So that's the point of the year over year. Like, you would think if people were desperate and they're like, I got to sell my home today. Like, I have to sell it. They're not going to care what the temperature is. They're like, I got to sell. And I think that's what distress looks like in the housing market. We're just not seeing it. These new listings are going to shock a lot of people, I think. There are probably a lot of people that don't talk about it. You're probably going to hear from a lot of people that, there's a lot of forced selling, distress, but there has to be some listings to have distress. You're welcome, April. He was doing yoga. Yeah, right. Yeah, he's being a goofball is what he's doing. He was cutting the grass, so now he's done with that. How is the new student finance debacle affecting current inventory in the market? I don't think it has yet, really. I don't think it has. I think it may. Um, I did a video a while back about student loans and FHA loans. Um, the one thing that's coming, or the two things, are student loans, like you say. The other thing that's coming is the fact that they're going to stop. Supposedly, they're going to stop allowing people to extend their loans. The payments, and be in forbearance with their FHA loans and whatnot. And if you're late on a student loan payment, you can't get mortgage help if you fall behind on your mortgage. So those will be forced sellers. I think you'll see an uptick in distress selling. I really do. But I don't know that it's going to be to the level that a lot of people think or hope that it will be. But I don't think we're seeing it yet as much because they're still in like those forbearance plans and whatnot, with mortgages. Student loans, though, they're starting to make payments. So we may see that inventory soon. We may see it. Yeah, it's crazy. What's up, Jordan? What's the best market for buying that you've seen so far? Hmm. Boy, no one's ever asked me that. You mean in the nation? Jeez. I have to think about it for a while. I don't know. A nationwide, it'd be hard for me to tell you because I'm not, um, I'm not intimate with a lot of those a lot of national, markets throughout the U.S. just from these charts. For Ohio, I would say the best area to buy in is if you want to be like near a city, but not way out in the country. I like Mount Vernon. I like that area. I think it has a lot to offer. It's also semi close to Columbus, within an hour. So I like Mount Vernon. I think out in like the eastern part of, or like in Licking County, which is east of Columbus, I think that's where I live. I think this offers a lot of value still, even though prices and property taxes are stupid high. You probably have to go outside the area. If it's me looking for my first home, wherever I live, I'd be hard pressed not to buy a duplex or a triplex and house hack it. Put a renter in one unit or the two units, whatever you have, because it's a residential property. That's how I would buy a home, and I would buy a duplex like in Mount Vernon. If I was like starting off or trying to get into real estate, that's what I would do, and I would live in one side and rent out the other. Um, and then I'd stay in there until the thing was stabilized, and then I'd go find another one and do the same thing. So that's how I would buy, and that's just me. And that's not, house hacking is not for everybody. But I certainly wouldn't buy a move-in ready house. I'd buy something that was, needed work, whatever I did. And I would probably do some research on property taxes, certainly, and find an area where property taxes haven't exploded recently and maybe won't explode. I don't know how you can predict that, but I look at property taxes and figure that out. Yeah. So I don't know if that helps you or not, but I like Mount Vernon. That's the area I like. Hey, Thomas, you're welcome. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. It's simple math. Sell now or see a loss. Think real hard. Simple math. 20 million will be deported. Birthright citizenship is in play. What? 50 million. Housing will tank. Yeah, I mean, I guess it just comes down, Jim, to people there's people that just don't need to sell. It's not that they're like, yeah, they just don't need to. And there are people that do, and they, you see that reflected in the price. There are others that just don't need to sell. Will that change? Maybe. But at this point, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of people that need to sell. And if interest rates drop, heaven forbid, oh man, even though the economy's, people are like, some people are like, oh, the economy's good. Well, why would you cut interest rates if the economy's good? Is the economy bad? No, it's not bad. Well, why would you cut interest rates now? They want to cut it also because of the debt. They want to pay a lower payment. But thanks, Jim. Near a city, but not out in the country is the same thing. Yeah, pretty much. You're right. But I mean, parts of Mount Vernon are pretty out in the country. So yeah, it helps. Thanks for the insight. Oh, you're welcome. Good. They will if they are renting. They will if they are renting. I don't know what that means. I can build a house cheaper than those builders are willing to, but zoning laws and large overpriced lots just don't allow my price point to be met. You know what? One of the biggest, the saddest things I see are towns in Ohio, like Mount Vernon is a great example. Newark's a great example. Columbus is a great example where they do not allow like ADU units to be built in the city, or they have draconian laws to prevent people from actually developing the lots in town. And I agree. I mean, if you want affordable housing, you've got to be willing to let that stuff in. And there's a lot of lots. There are a lot of lots in older Ohio towns, older towns across the country where they don't allow ADUs, accessory dwelling units, like to build like an apartment behind your house. They just did that in California. I think they just released it, and I hear it's going pretty well. So you can build something back there and rent it out to make some more money or to supplement your mortgage. That seems like a good deal to me. But you're right. The building laws, like I've tried to build duplexes or triplexes or quads on empty lots before. Well, there's been like duplexes I've purchased where the lot next door comes with it. And it's just, it used to be a house, but now it's just a foundation or it's just grass. And I'm like, well, that thing's just wasted. And I pay like $100 a year in taxes, but you have to mow it. You got to mow it every couple of weeks. And so it ends up being just a thorn in my side. And I'm like, hey, can I build a duplex there? Not that I have the money to right now, but I'm like, can I do it? No, you can't do that. This is a residential neighborhood. You're not allowed to build a duplex. And I'm like, but the duplex is next door. Still can't do it. Why? I don't know. And then they cry about affordable housing. Dan in the dirt, what up? If they cut rates back to over asking home price nationwide, the banksters and lenders want this bad. If they cut rates back to over asking, yes, yes, yes. They do want it bad. They want it bad. What's your take on the upkeep insurance tax increase causing fallout in the markets? Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that have to sell because of taxes, um, and insurance. Yeah, and the upkeep. I do think that that's a point of selling. I think a lot of those people rebuy somewhere else, but I'm getting ready to do a video that I filmed locally where I look at a couple houses I show you a couple houses that sold recently, and it seems like they sold because of property taxes. Like property taxes doubled, and then they put their house on the market. I think that will cause more inventory. But I think people are like conditioned to think that the level of inventory they're looking for is GFC level inventory, and that's a whole other ball game. And I don't know that we'll see that, at least not yet, because of the mortgage market is fixed for the most part. Except there are some variable costs now, but not like when there are ARMs where 50% of the market. It's definitely an issue. ADUs don't actually work. It's only a temporary fix to help short term, but the zoning laws and large lots are still an elephant. As people move out of state, needs to acquire lots and reform. Yeah, but I do agree with you. Yeah, I mean, you and I are on the same page. There's a lot of lots, a lot of opportunity inside of city limits that can be maximized, and they just don't do it. They're just like, I don't know why, but they don't. There's a ton of old homes in Ohio that could be revitalized, not necessarily for duplexes, for single family houses. You don't need to build more shiny homes outside of the outer belt. You can build them inside the outer belt, or I'm sorry, renovate them inside the outer belt. If the government would say, or the state or local officials would say, hey, Jason, here's, a loan to rehab an old house you buy, and we'll do it at like 1% interest. But the caveat is you've got to have it as a rental. You can't flip it. And there's some rules there about, you know, making it an affordable rental. That seems like a good deal to me. I'd jump on that. New roof today can be 20K. Heck yeah, it can. Over time, allowing smaller lots and allowing people in business to use every square foot as we once did. Right. Right. I'm on the same page as you. Well, that's great, guys. Listen, I I have to run. Those renovation loans are a pain in the A to get or find a reputable lender that underwritten. Oh, I knew you were trying to get that done. Yeah, Dan, they are hard. The 203K loans for FHA. Dan's trying to buy a house with a 203K loan, which is a renovation loan from FHA. Very hard to find a lender that does that right. Most lenders act like they don't know what it is. But keep looking. You'll find somebody. That's okay. You can rewatch it. Also allowing more mixed use. Yeah. Open a barbershop, computer repair, other small day-to-day items in spare bedroom, etc. I agree. I think more flexibility there is needed to help people, to help the cities revitalize areas, allow for more affordable homes. Um, yeah, you don't see that anymore. Yep. Great. All right, guys. Well, I got to run. I'm going to take about 10 minutes or so, and then I'm going to jump on 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20. I'm not sure. I'm going to jump on again and do the Ohio update, but that is on my other channel, the Ohio Housing Nerd. So I'm going to do that. Look out for it. I'm the one that called the other day. I have a petition prepared and just need people willing to sign. Oh, awesome. Yeah, it was good to talk to you, David. That's cool. Yeah, happy 4th of July to everybody. Be safe out there with the fireworks and enjoy it. I will see you on the next housing market update. I'm the housing nerd and I'm out.